Mujtaba openly dares Donald Trump to invade, warning that any move will be met with fire, a threat that sounds less like rhetoric and more like a promise. From Tehran, the message grows sharper: no surrender, no mercy, as the drums of war echo louder across the region. With 2,500 US Marines now deployed, the question hangs heavy: are these precautionary moves, or the beginning of a ground war with Iran? Missiles are locked, tensions are peaking, and the region stands on edge. Is the Middle East about to explode? Iran's parliament speaker, Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, issued a stark and aggressive warning, stating that any US troops entering the conflict will be set on fire in a fierce retaliatory response. Ghalibaf further declared that Tehran stands ready to punish not only the United States but also its regional allies if the situation escalates into a broader and more intense war. Iran has made it clear that it will not back down under any circumstances, emphasizing that this conflict will not end without victory for the nation and its allies. Rejecting any speculation of surrender, Iran's parliament speaker firmly dismissed the possibility, even as military tensions continue to rise at an alarming pace. Ghalibaf also claimed that Iran, along with its regional allies, has already inflicted what he described as major blows against US forces operating in the area. These developments come amid reports that Iran has launched its 86th wave of strikes targeting US military bases across the Gulf region, marking a significant escalation. According to Iranian statements, this 86th wave involved a combination of missiles and drones striking key US bases, including those at Victory, Arifjan, and Al-Kaj. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps also issued a strong and direct warning to Donald Trump, cautioning him against initiating any form of ground operations in the region. Adding to the rhetoric, Ibrahim Zulfiqari threatened a massive bloodbath in the Gulf, dramatically declaring, "Trump, we will feed your troops to sharks if conflict intensifies further."
Trump, the President of the United States, has repeatedly threatened Iran with a ground operation and the occupation of certain islands in the Persian Gulf. There is no doubt that the President of the United States has become a pawn of the Prime Minister of the Zionist regime in the war of aggression against Iran, driven by pressure from a terrorist organization Mossad, exploiting his background in the Epstein case. The President of the United States, known as the most dishonest president in the world and lacking any intellectual discursive stability, is utterly untrustworthy. Unfortunately, America's leaders have delegated command of the armed forces to someone whose erratic positions and dangerous, wrong-headed decisions have plunged the U.S. military into a swamp of death. Trump, whose commanders and soldiers are grappling with death daily in the region due to their fear of being killed, have fled from destroyed bases and taken refuge in the service, population, and economic centers of regional countries, and of course will be targeted there as well. He and his senior commanders of the crumbling American army expect resistance from commanders and soldiers on battlefields thousands of kilometers away. Trump drums up a threatening topic one morning and backs down the same evening. He talks about negotiations one moment and decides to escalate the war a few hours later. This unstable and deceitful individual has inflicted immense damage on the people of America, Europe, and countries around the world, especially those in the Middle East. The President of the United States has proven that the only language he understands is the language of force. In response to Trump's recent threats of a ground operation or the occupation of any part of Iranian territory, which are nothing more than wishful thinking, we declare that the warriors of Islam have long awaited such actions. They will show that aggression and occupation lead only to the humiliating capture, dismemberment, and disappearance of the aggressors. American commanders and soldiers will become good food for the sharks of the Persian Gulf. It would be better if Trump and the leaders and commanders of the U.S. military studied the history of Iran once and learned a lesson from the valiant Iranian people's confrontations with aggressors throughout history, and did not lead their soldiers into captivity and death within the delusional circle of the unstable American president, nor turn the American people into mourners on a wide scale. The powerful Iranian armed forces will eagerly await the moment to obliterate your army if the American president's threat, an embodiment of delusion and lies, is carried out.
These escalating threats come at a time when Donald Trump has claimed that Iran is looking to make a deal, even as elements within the IRGC appear to be acting more aggressively and unpredictably.
On Iran, they are being decimated. They are talking, we are talking now. They want to make a deal. Very simply, our military is the greatest in the world by far. Iran is being decimated. Thank you.